y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel, Little Ways, Little Things. I'm outside today. I'm actually outside of a sporting goods store here in Houston, Texas, and I'm standing in front of their compactor. That's how this store gets rid of its trash. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I do have a job. I work part-time for a friend of mine. She owns a company, and basically we're waste consultants for commercial buildings. And this happens to be one of our clients. And if you've ever bought a cooler or a bathing suit or a baseball cap or a t-shirt for one of your favorite sporting goods teams and you live in the southeastern United States, chances are you've probably been to one of these stores. So we are their consultants, and we help make sure that every bit of waste and trash that comes out of these stores gets taken care of and put in the proper place, whether it's regular trash that goes to the dump or recyclable trash. Now, most of my job is done behind a desk, but every now and then we have to go out in the field. And if we go out into the field, especially to distribution centers or factories that hard hats are required, then we have to wear these construction kind of hard hats. And this one looks, if you can tell, it's kind of plain and boo-boo because it's just plain white. And since our company is made up mostly of women, we just can't handle this. So I'm going to show you today how I'm going to take this plain regular construction hard hat and turn it into something worth a company that's run by women. This is my Cricut. In case you don't know what a Cricut is, it's a home die cutting machine. I absolutely love it. It connects to my laptop, and with my laptop and the Cricut and Design Space, I can totally design anything I want, and the Cricut will cut it out of lots of different medium. It will cut out of paper, adhesive vinyl, iron-on vinyl, fabric, all kinds of cool stuff. In this case, I'm going to cut out my company's logo from adhesive vinyl and put it onto the hard hat. So I'm going to take you through it step by step. The first thing that I'm going to do is click on Cricut Design Space, which is the program that I work in. And I'm not going to show too much detail. I'm just going to really quickly go through this because it's not a step-by-step tutorial really. It's just really so that you can get an idea of how the Cricut works. So once I'm in Design Space, I click on New Project, and that brings me to a blank canvas. So what I want to do with the canvas is insert an image so I can start to work on a project. So I'm going to click on Images, and it's going to pull up a bunch of Cricut images that either cost money or they're images that I've previously bought and downloaded, things like that. But up here you can filter and just go to My Images, and it will just pull up images that you actually own or that I own. So I'm also going to narrow it down to crown because I just want to see some crowns that I already own that I wouldn't have to pay for. And I like this one, and you can see it's purchased. So I'm going to select it and then hit down here, Insert Image. That's going to put it onto my canvas where I can start to work with it. I can make it really big, I can make it really small, and if I want to make it like thinner or fatter, I can click this little button here which will unlock it, and that way the proportions can then be affected. So I can make it really fat or really long and thin, but you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. The area on my hard hat is about, I think, 4 by 4, so I'm going to kind of make it fit into that area the best as I can, or I can go up here and I can adjust it up here as well. So I can do 4 by 4 and we'll see how it comes out. There it is. It's kind of long, but I like it. Let's say I want to include some text. I would hit text and then type in my name. I don't like that font, so I'm going to change it. It's just like if you were working with Publisher or something like that. It's just a matter of learning the program. Let me also filter this to my fonts and find fonts that belong to me already, that I already own. And let's just say I like this one that's Ashland's Alphabet. So I'll change the font, take this F off, and then I can move that kind of wherever I want it. So basically that is the design that I like for my hard hat. But if I showed this design to my boss, she would probably have a heart attack. So let me get rid of the Jenny and the crown and try to put my actual company logo in. Now obviously that's not a Cricut image, so I'm going to have to upload the picture of it myself. So I'm going to go down here to upload. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on upload image. These are all images I've uploaded in the past. Then I'm going to browse around on my computer. Now I keep a file on my computer on my desktop called Cricut Images, and that's just various things that I've downloaded in the past. And earlier today, my coworker, she emailed me an SVG file of our company logo. Here it is right here. I know how to work with SVG files and PNG, but I'm pretty basic on this machine, so that's about all I know how to do. So luckily this logo was an SVG already, so I am going to open that up and it's going to bring it into Design Space, and from there I'm going to save it as a simple image. Continue. And there it goes. The problem is right now it's kind of looking like it has this rectangle line, and if I put this into my machine right now, it would just cut out a rectangle, and I want it to cut out all of this detail. So I go up here to select and erase, and I click on that, and then I click on the background, and basically it kind of takes away all of the rectangle and shows the machine that it just wants to cut out each individual piece. Now, if you look right here, the checkered background doesn't show through some of these little negative spaces in the word. So I have to click on those to make sure that those will also cut out. All right, so let's click continue and hopefully it'll be, yep, it looks good. This is the one that I would click if I wanted to print it first and then cut it out, or if I wanted to draw it or something like that. But I just want to cut it out of adhesive vinyl to put on our hard hats. So I'm just going to save it as a cut image. And I'm going to tag prime waist in here too. And that way if I look for it later under prime waist or prime waist solutions, I'll be able to see it, or I'll also put logo. So that's how you can find it again after you've uploaded it. All right, there it is. It is now part of the images in the Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to click on it, hit insert image, and there it is. It's actually on my canvas. So now I can work with it however I want. I can make it bigger or smaller. I can add, let's say, text to it. Let's say, again, if I wanted to add somebody's name to it, I could do that. Let's see how that would look. I'm not sure why it says Sandu, but there we go. Okay, Sandy. So if I wanted to add somebody's name to it, or I wanted to do something like that, I could do all kinds of things. I can even change the colors here. Let's say I wanted to make the text a different color. Now that means I would have to add a different color vinyl in there, but if I just wanted to see how it would look, if I put like some hot pink on there, I could kind of see how it would look if I use different color vinyls. So that's basically how it works. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to size it down to the size that I need, which I had figured on the hard hats would be about that size. And then basically I'm going to come over here and hit make it. This is the mat that it's a representation of the mat that I'm actually going to feed into the machine. What I'm going to do is take a piece of blue vinyl or black vinyl or something, and whatever I decide, and put it on this mat, and then I'm going to feed it into the machine. So let's hit continue. This shows you exactly where on the mat and the vinyl that the logo will cut. So I'm actually going to do 4 of them. So let's do 4 and apply, and it'll give me 4 of those logos. I'll hit continue and it's going to say please connect your machine. So let me stop and do that, and we'll pick up with the cutting out. Okay, I connected my Cricut to my computer. It just takes one cord. A lot of people that have more sophisticated laptops than I do, they don't even have to connect it. They actually can Bluetooth it, and they can sit on one side of the room and get their Cricut going without even being close to it. But my computer's not that great, so I have to use a cord that connects it. I went back and looked at my company logo, and it was definitely red with a little bit of blue. So I decided to use the maroonish reddish vinyl in the machine. So I put that on the mat and I fed it through. It cut it out really nicely. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut out each individual logo to make it easier to work with. So that's one logo there, and I'm starting to weed it. Weeding just means that I'm taking away all the excess vinyl, and as I'm pulling it away, you can start to see the logo show through. And you have to be a little careful and just make sure everything that when you're pulling the vinyl, it doesn't pull up anything that you need, like those little tiny dots of the eyes or periods or anything like that. So I'm going back through, and as you can see, I'm kind of holding down the dot of the eye because it got a little held up. So once that's through, I'll be able to kind of pull off the rest of the vinyl, but you do have to be super careful with some of the little details. And I really like the tool that I use to weed with, and I got it from a little vinyl shop here in Texas, and I will link it below in case you do this type of thing and you're interested in buying one. I'll link it below. It's one of the best little weeding tools I've ever used. But I needed to get my tweezers out to kind of work on that little eye because it was really giving me a lot of trouble, as you can see, but eventually I got it on there. And I'm also going to weed out the negative spaces of the little letters. Remember, we had to make certain that the Cricut would understand to cut those out, so that's what I'm weeding out now. And it doesn't take very long, and all my friends and I agree that weeding is just really satisfying. It's kind of a fun thing to do, and it doesn't take very long. It's pretty fun. So this is transfer tape, and it's sticky on one side and clear on one side. So I'm going to cut it to about the size of the logo, and I'm going to press down on the logo really hard to make sure that the vinyl is picked up by that transfer tape. So once that's done, I'm ready to get the hat out, or the construction hard hat, and I'm going to want to put it on as straight as I possibly can. So I have a little trick for that. I'm going to put some washi tape along the brim of the hat to kind of measure to make sure that I'm going to be able to get the logo on straight. So that's kind of the way I'm spacing it out. So I'm actually going to use 2 pieces of washi tape, one stacked on top of each other, because I think that will make it so the logo will be lined up in a really nice spot on the hard hat. So I know if I tried to do it without some sort of measurement, I would probably put it on crooked. It's probably going to still be a little crooked, but at least it won't be so bad. So you can see there's the logo. It's attached to the transfer tape, and I'm just going to line up the bottom solutions to the bottom of the washi tape so that, again, I get it as lined up as I can. So there we go. Once I have it in place, I start to press down on the transfer tape. And I'm just really pressing hard, and sometimes some of the pieces, if you don't press hard enough, they come back up or they're not completely adhered to the piece. So you just want to be really slow with it and really patient and make sure you get everything to stick down. See, I'm still having kind of trouble with that little dot on the top of the eye. It just gave me so much trouble, but I just took it off, and it's attached to the tweezers right now, and I'm going to do it last. But the next thing that was giving me trouble was the little points of the little swoosh, because they kind of wanted to lift up a little bit too, but that's where these tools come in super handy. So I was able to kind of peel it off of the transfer tape and then get it pushed down onto the hat, and it's kind of rewarding when you get done with it. But as you can see, it takes a little bit of time, but it's really not a difficult thing, not at all. So now what I'm going to do is take the little dot of the eye back off those tweezers, and I'm going to put it back over the eye and just get everything all even and situated just the way I want it. And then I'll push down on it some more, just to make sure. That's the nonstick backing of the transfer tape, and I'm just using a little squeegee to get it really pushed down. Then I'll just remove the washi tape. Now the logo has 2 of the swooshes are blue, so I went ahead and cut out just the 2 swooshes that I needed from some blue vinyl. And so basically I just told my machine to only cut out those 2 swooshes. And so now I'm putting those on transfer tape after I weeded those, and I'm going to put them over the maroon colored swoosh that's already on there. Now if I had a more complicated logo, or I was working with just a really more complicated piece, I would have taken the time to actually remove the red from the Cricut in the first place. In other words, I would have never cut it out, but it just would have been trouble for me to line it all up and everything in the end. So I just thought the easiest thing for me to do was to cover up the 2 red swooshes with the blue swooshes, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about alignment or anything like that. So it was super simple to do, just to get it on there, and it just worked out so that it was a little bit easier. It was kind of a little shortcut. So maybe it wasn't the neatest way to do it, but it was definitely a shortcut. It was a pretty easy project all in all, and I think the hard hats look super cute with our logo on them. I hope that my boss likes them, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to a little bit of information about our really unique company. So thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button if you'd like to be notified the next time that I upload a video, and make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel.